Welcome, everyone. This is our weekly business meeting. Today is October 25th, 2022. It is 2 p.m. In attendance are Commissioners Brooks, Filios, and Duncan. Would you please join us in a moment of silence? Thank you. Welcome, everyone. This is our weekly business meeting. All right, thank you. And now our Pledge of Allegiance. Carlene, would you like to lead us?
Of course. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All right, are there any changes to the agenda? All right, hearing none, we will handle item 19 right after item 15. So we can get started. I would take a motion to approve minutes 1 through 4.
Second.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Filios.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. And now our consent calendar, which is items 5 through 14.
I move that we approve the consent calendar, which is items 5 through 14.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Filios.
Aye.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion passes. Now payables.
I move that we approve the payables list for October 17th through 2022 in the amount of $980,826.73 with no jury panel payments.
Second.
Commissioner Filios.
Aye.
Bill Brooks.
Terry
Chair
Johnston.
Aye. Hi, Terry. All right, so now we can handle item number 19. So this is a board approval request. It's support for a 2025 new district judge, and Carlene will be leading us through this. We had already agreed to support the letter. However, what was pointed out to me is this will increase another position. So I just wanted you to talk about the additional position the county would be responsible for.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Carlene Behringer from District Court for the record. I'm here today to discuss the state fiscal 2025 budget enhancement request that I'm intending on asking for a new full-time Kootenai County District Judge. So right now, we have a judge from Sandpoint and a judge from Wallace coming down to help us with a district court calendar. And they are beginning to get entirely too overwhelmed and very busy. As a result, I've approached the Supreme Court and told them that I would be asking for a new full-time district judge in Kootenai County for fiscal 2025. The judge will be chambered over in the Juvenile Justice Center in the courtroom that's already there, courtroom number 14. When that new judge gets there, then those two judges, the judge from Sandpoint and the judge from Wallace, will no longer come here. Right now, there is a district court deputy clerk who works for both of the judges that come and visit. So that clerk would remain in that position and work for that full-time judge. And then the state would be responsible for securing a court reporter and the only other thing that would be added to that chambers would be a staff attorney. And that's a county position.
How much do staff attorneys run?
They are on that schedule of attorneys starting, anywhere from attorney 1 and going up, depending upon their experience.
Okay.
So it could be anywhere from $55,000 and up,
Okay.
depending on their experience.
Okay, so that's just what I wanted to make sure that we got on the record, because I did not remember getting that on the record before. I remember, oh yeah, everything's taken care of because we already have the chambers, we already have the courtroom, we already have that, but we do not have the staff attorney. So if we say yes, then our fiscal '25 budget season, starting October '24, we would have to agree to do this position.
Correct.
So that's what I wanted to make sure that was understood. So thoughts about supporting this going forward?
I could be in support of it with no problem, but I want to see some numbers in terms of caseload.
Oh, sure,
So caseload for the new district judge?
yes.
Okay.
It's very heavy, primarily now, the judges that come down. Judge Duggan from Wallace handles the criminal aspect of it. She's typically here 2 to 2.5 weeks every month. And then Judge Bariz from Sandpoint does the civil load, which is not as heavy as the criminal load. It's always been a very heavy criminal calendar.
So would the new judge handle both civil and criminal?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, okay. I think that is it. You need an answer today, though, because your letter's due November 1st?
It is. But I can get you those figures fairly quickly. I can run a caseload pending assignments for each judge, and you can take a look at it.
Yeah.
I just ran one not too long ago, so it's current.
Okay. So I still would entertain a motion to support this because we did agree before. I just wanted to make sure that we brought up the fact that this is going to cost the county, you know, 50 to 100,000, depending on the level of attorney that's hired. So,
Okay, yeah, I'll make a motion. So I move that we approve the request for a new district judge effective fiscal year '25, which will necessitate the hiring of an attorney to accommodate the judge who will be handling both civil and criminal cases and acting in lieu of the 2 part-time judges that are currently filling in Kootenai County to help us out with both civil and criminal. End of motion.
okay. Second.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Hey,
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, so what I do want to point out is this is merely a support letter. The Supreme Court does not have to approve this case at this point.
Correct.
I mean, this new judge. So I just know, talking with Shoshone and Bonner, that their caseloads are increasing, so they need those judges full-time back in their own counties. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we'll go to item 16, which is consent to sublease 94, City of Hayden, their Street Department and Lakes Highway District. And Kim Stevenson?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Kim Stevenson with the airport for the record. The Lakes Highway District, lease number 94, would like to sublease to the City of Hayden Street Department. And there'd be no change in the annual revenue at this point, $25,611.43.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Questions, Chris?
No, we addressed this last week, didn't we? Nick took the-
We've addressed it about 3 times. So, yeah. All right, so motion?
I move that we consent to the sublease 94, the City of Hayden Street Department and Lakes Highway District.
Second.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. And item
Thank you.
17, board approval request, Panhandle Village Water System Improvement Project Phase 2, request for release of funds and certification. And this is our Resource Management Office. Dorian?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Dorian Combrix from Resource Management Office. This form is the Idaho Community Development Block Grant request for release of funds, and it needs to be signed and sent to the Idaho Department of Commerce for the Panhandle Village Water System Phase 2 project. It's certifying that the county has completed its responsibilities for the required environmental review process and is now requesting the release of grant funds for the project.
All right, questions?
Nope, no.
Motion?
Okay, I move that we approve the Panhandle Panhandle Village Water System Improvement Project in the completion of the current phase and moving forward from there.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Filios?
Aye.
Bill Brooks?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Dorian. All right, item 18, grant award EMS 2022 EP-0005 FY22 Emergency Management Performance Grant. And this is with FEMA, $112,811.80 with an in-kind match of $112,811.80 from our Office of Emergency Management. Tiffany, or no, is Sarah handling this?
Yep, this will be Sarah Lafredo for the record. And before you is the 2022 subrecipient agreement for the 2022 Emergency Management Program grant, which Kootenai County has been allocated $112,811.80. It's such a tongue twister. This grant does require a 50% match. However, those funds have been budgeted for in the 2023 budget process, and we recommend that the board's approval of this agreement so we may receive these funds.
All right, questions? Sure.
None for me.
Okay.
I move that we approve grant number EMS 2022-EP-0005 /22 Emergency Management Performance Grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, in the amount of $112,000, $811.80, and we have an in-kind match for OEM of $112,811.80.
Second.
Commissioner Filios?
Aye.
Bill Brooks?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Sarah. And item 20, board approval request, agreement for IMS, it's the Community Development System, to add CC for system-produced emails to meet public records requirement. And James, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Good afternoon, Commissioners. James Martin from IT. This is a request. We signed a agreement with IMS, who's the community development software vendor, to make a configuration change. Currently, the IMS system sends out an automated email notifying permit applicants of different status changes to their permits. But this email is sent out via the internet. It doesn't hit our Exchange email system. So when we do a public records request, it makes it more difficult to wrestle all those emails together. So for this particular change, it would be a one-time cost of $2,500. We've budgeted for it. We've talked to Pat Braden Legal. He's in full support of it to help meet our public records requirement needs. And yes, so I would request that we approve that agreement so we can move forward.
Okay. Bill, questions?
No.
All right, Chris? Questions?
None for me.
All right, motion?
Okay, so I move that we approve the budget request of $2,500, which in fact was budgeted for fiscal year -- to provide a copy to IT for the community development IMS-generated response to permit applicants so that it is more readily available for public information requests. And a motion.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Filios?
Aye.
Bill Brooks?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, James. Item 21, board approval request, Kootenai Joint School District 274 for the school resource officer and our KCSO. Captain Smart.
Kevin Smart for the record. Commissioners, this is a renewal of our school resource contract with the Kootenai School District down in the Harrison area for our school resource officer for this fiscal year.
Right, questions? Okay, questions?
Any cost change?
We have increased it to match this year's budget of the increase for our matrix as a 4-year deputy's position.
Okay, great.
Got it. Okay.
All right,
I'm fine.
motion?
Go ahead, Bill.
Okay. I move that we approve the request for Kootenai Joint School District 274 for the School Resource Officer Program.
Second.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you, Captain. All right, item 22, renewal of our annual independent contract, Jackson Lanterman, who is the chaplain for juvenile probation, and our juvenile probation director, Brian Alexander. Go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioner. Brian Alexander, Juvenile Probation for the record. Yes, this is to renew the annual independent contract with Jackson Lanterman, the chaplain. He does provide non-denominational services at the District 1 Detention Center, as well as youth within the community. And this position is budgeted line item in 23.
Okay, and approximately how long have we had a chaplain?
As far as I was following up, it started in 2002 with Jeff Cheeseborough.
Okay, it's about 20 years ago.
Yes.
Wow, okay, well, it must be a successful program then. All right, questions?
None.
All right, motion, please.
Okay, so I move that we renew the annual independent contract with Jackson Letterman for chaplain services for District 1 Detention Center.
Actual juvenile probation.
Yep.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes, and it looks like Mr. Alexander has, well, the next three items. So we'll go ahead to renew independent contract with Mark Jones, and this is the Post Falls High School District Alternative to Suspension Program, and go ahead.
Yep, so this one again is just a renewal contract with Mark Jones and the Post Falls School District. He provides direct supervision with students as an alternative to being sent home for suspension. They work with Mark during the day for community service in the morning and then do schoolwork in the afternoon. This one is work probation. We have provided the vehicle and then we supervise the program, and the Post Falls School District covers his wages and the fuel.
Okay,
And it is paid for by Post Falls.
great. All right, questions? Questions? Motion?
I move that we renew the independent contractor agreement with Mark Jones for the Post Falls School District alternate to suspension program with Mark Jones and ATS Post Falls School District.
Second.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 24, renew independent contract with Amelia Kirk, and who is in the mentor coordination, who is the mentor coordinator for juvenile probation. So again,
Again, just renewal of independent contract with Amelia, who provides our, works with the community and provides community volunteer mentors and matches those with youth on probation. And again, this is a budgeted line item through the lottery.
okay, great. Questions?
None.
And motion.
I move that we approve the independent contract with Amelia Kirk as the mentor for the coordinator program with juvenile probation. for
I
fiscal-
second the motion.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. And Mr. Alexander's final item, item 25, County Department Annual Report. This is our juvenile probation annual report. So go ahead.
So this is our annual report that's required to be completed for the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections. This report covers the last fiscal year and includes race, gender, age, the successful completion and recidivism rates. It also shows restitution amounts collected over the last fiscal year for victims of crime. Last year was a little over 20,000 collected. This year it shows a little over 45,000 collected. So we're way ahead of the game there. It also highlights community service that was completed through the Work in Lieu of Detention program, as well as other community service programs, which did result in 930 hours completed over the last fiscal year. Judge Meyer has reviewed this report as well. And the report right now shows we still have high success rates and very low recidivism rates in Kootenai County.
Great. Do you have the amount of community service for last year offhand?
I do not
That's
have
okay.
it. I want to say it was around 600 and something.
Okay, great. Questions? All right, and then motion to accept the annual report?
I move that we accept the annual report from juvenile probations.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. All right, item 26, board approval request, temporary employee in the county assistance department, and our chief deputy clerk, Jennifer Locke.
And we sent a memo and attach just a projection of that. We were requesting approval to use the BOCC temp pool funds for a temporary employee due to an upcoming vacancy in County Assistance Department. We could be looking up to 3 months time frame, and the temp would be paid up to $16 an hour based on experience.
Okay, any questions?
None.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve the board approval request for temporary employee for county assistance, not to exceed $16 an hour and presumably up to 3 months, paid for out of the BOCC temp pool.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. All right, item 27, Resolution 2022-77, County Deeds from Tax Auction. And Terry is on the line. So go ahead, Terry.
Okay, this is just a resolution that formally authorizes the chair to sign all the deeds from the tax deed sale that was held September 30th, 1922, or 2022, excuse me.
Thank you. All right, any questions on that? Questions?
Nope.
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2022-77, County Deeds from Tax Auction.
And I would second and add that this authorizes the chairman of the BOCC to act on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners.
Commissioner Filios,
Aye.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, thank you. Motion passes. And then the status update pending list.
Commissioner Duncan,
Yes.
Chair Duncan,
Oh,
may I,
sorry.
Brandy Falcon for the
Yes.
record, for the auditor's office. I'd like to clarify the motion that you made for the temp pool. You said not to exceed $16 an hour. I do want to clarify, we have to pay the temp agency, so it raises our hourly rate to 20-something an hour. I just wanted that on the record.
Sure, I think he meant for the actual person in the
Yes, I
seat.
did.
Yeah, so, thank you for the clarification. All right, the status update pending list, I have no updates. We're still waiting for legal to do some final adjustments on the contract, and then the negotiation will start and bring it back before the board. So, no updates right now. Any questions? Nope.
None.
All right. Then I would go to public comment. Yes.
Just hit the button, Rick. It'll go green and it'll pick you up.
Go ahead and push the button.
There. There you go.
Thank you.
I never was good at instructions. Anyway, the former staff can probably agree with that. Anyway, for the record, Rick Curry. I'm here to, I think to inform you, but let me give you a little history. I bought a piece of property at tax auction. I bought it over 10 years ago. If I would have sold that property, shall we say, somewhat immediately, there would have been no problem. But since that time, the underwriters for the title companies will not take the county's paperwork, shall we say, in reference to that sale. Now, I've been in contact with Lori Thomas, who is obviously, well, I would consider an expert in this, especially from the county side, and she says they're full of it, but they still will not. Basically, to sell, I have an opportunity to sell that property now, and the title company will not sell it unless I get a quiet title. Now, everybody's familiar with a quit claim, it's a piece of cake. But a quiet title, you have to have an attorney, and the prices I have got to have that situation taken care of is between $3,000 and $5,000. Because of, and basically, and they're again talking to Lori, that attorney is going to do exactly the same thing that the county has already done. But the problem being is the underwriters are not accepting that now. So going forward, the problem that I sort of foresee you guys having, or I should say the county having, is on your next tax deed sale, these people should be informed that, hey, you're going to have some additional costs after you buy this piece of property. Which, like I say, I don't know, I do not have an answer. I'm sitting here with a problem and don't have an answer. The only solution that I have even thought about was if the county had, if one of the county attorneys was to do a quiet title on each one of these pieces of property, and go through that process that way, might work. I do not know. But I do think that the county should be get in touch with the title companies in the area to figure out a solution to this. And I went to more than one, three title companies, thinking that maybe one underwriter would do it, wouldn't have a problem, but another one would. And basically, as soon as I got in the door, they informed me that they're not going to touch it. And also at one time, and I didn't know this until Lori pointed it out, at one time there was I think a 10-year period that after 10 years, you could sell it without any problem. That's gone away too. So it does create a problem for individuals that are looking to buy a tax deeded property. So, any questions? Not that I have answers.
Have you spoken to the current treasurer or the treasurer's office?
No, I have not. I sort of consider Lori still a resident expert there.
Right, but if something's going to change, it probably would start from that office?
Pardon me?
If something were going to change, it probably would start from that office?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ms. Duncan, you're right. I probably should have done that before coming here, but I figure start at the top, work our way down.
Sure. All right, well, I appreciate that. Any questions for Mr. Curry?
Dave, did you have anything you wanted to add?
All right, so I can go ahead and let the treasurer know and see if they wanted to pursue something in this direction. This is the first I've ever heard of it happening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, I appreciate you coming to see us. Anything
Absolutely.
further?
Thank you for giving me the time.
You bet.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Do I push the button?
Yeah. Thanks. All right. Any other public comment today? All right. Hearing none. 2:28, and this meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.